So we have a new video today and it's all about the Google Pixel Watch. Well, when I say all about the Google Pixel Watch, Pixel Watch or whatever they will name it, it's all about the design itself and what it feels basically when it comes to the Google Pixel Watch. I'm just gonna name it that, it's easier. Either way, let's talk about the Google Pixel Watch, the leaks from Androidcentral and of course the design itself. So when it comes to the Google Pixel Watch, I will have to say that it looks a lot different to what we've seen before. We've seen renders before and it has some implementation about the design itself, like for instance the crown and of course the more rounded display on top and so on. But overall it looks quite different when you look at it in real life, because before we just saw renders, and renders of course are just based on other images and it's hard to get those dimensions and see how it properly looks overall. But today, because of Androidcentral, we actually have images of the device itself. By the way, links in the description where you can check it out yourself as well when it comes to that article. But when it comes to the design itself, we can clearly see that it looks quite a lot different. It feels more like an art piece in a way compared to some other watches. Normal watches just look regular or square or whatever they want to do with it. But this one just looks a bit more like an art project from Google itself. I do appreciate it when a phone company, or in this case, a watch, is designed a little bit different. And I think they've done that pretty well. However, with this kind of design, there is something that a lot of people will complain about. It does have quite a bit of bezel. For myself, I don't really care. It isn't meant to be a smartphone around your wrist, and I'm gonna fight anyone who says otherwise, because it just suffers when it comes to battery life. Either way, when it comes to the design itself, yes, definitely it has quite a bit more bezel. Of course, how much bezel it has is hard to really see because of the images itself looking like it's taken in 2015. But overall, it clearly shows that it has quite a lot more bezel to it. And also, of course, this more rounded design. Now, of course, when it comes to a watch, there are definitely sensors. And here we see 4 kinds of sensors on the back. We don't know what they do and we don't know what the implementation is here. Of course, we expect it to have the normal features like every other smartwatch out there. So tracking your running or your jogging or whatever, and of course seeing how many steps you have taken. But it depends on what it does next to it. But of course, will it be able to measure your CO2 in your heart? Of course, how accurate is the heart rate sensor and so on. I feel like those things are more important than anything else. And of course, then next to it, battery life. So let's talk about software. Hopefully, in my opinion, they will go for something that is more towards what Xiaomi does, where you have a smartwatch that lasts about 2 weeks, compared to some other smartwatches from Apple and Samsung themselves, where you can maybe do 2 days, maybe 3 days with it, which just simply isn't enough. Especially for me, someone who keeps forgetting to charge his Bluetooth headsets. This is why the 3.5mm headphone jack needs to be on the phone. Either way, when it comes to that, I definitely hope that they go towards the lesser smarter smartwatch, but still a smartwatch where it is able to do the things that a smartwatch is supposed to do, instead of making it, as I stated, a smartphone around your wrist. I really don't like that stuff. Either way, I do hope that they go that path instead of something that Samsung and Apple does. But of course, with them buying Fitbit in 2019, I expect it to hopefully have about the same implementation as we see with Xiaomi, where indeed the battery life is also great. But with that being said, hopefully we also will get some features where it allows for competition. So for instance, what Apple does well is that you have a competition between different people. You can, for instance, have that you can track someone else's steps and then see how you are doing compared to that person, or jogging or whatever. I think that's something that smartwatches need to have as default, because I really do feel like that helps out with people being motivated to do more. For instance, if my brother had a smartwatch and I could see how many steps he has taken, how much he has been jogging or on his bike or whatever, I would look at it and be like, oh wait, I'm quite a bit behind. Let me go for a jog, let me go for a lot of steps, let me go on the bike itself and see how much I can compete against him. I really do think that those kind of features need to be on a smartwatch. Either way, let me know what you think about the leaks of the Google Pixel Watch, and what do you think about the design itself? Do you care about bezels? And what kind of smartwatch would you rather have? A smartwatch that is basically a smartphone but really small? Or would you rather have a smartwatch that is a little bit less smart, but then in turn lasts about 2 weeks when it comes to battery life? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe, hit like and leave a comment below. And of course, hit that bell icon as well, by the way. Anyway, have a good one and talk to you guys in the next.